This is WTRF, the home of 7 News, sponsored by Bill's Towing and Recovery. 7 News at noon begins now.
Happening right now at noon, we're following breaking news out of Marshall County where crews are on the scene of a large fire. And that's where we begin our coverage with that fire happening right now on Jefferson Avenue in Moundsville. Thank you for joining us for 7 News at noon. I'm John Walkup, but we've learned over 2,800 people are also without power in Marshall County because of the fire. 7 News anchor Annalise Murphy is standing by live at the scene and joins us with the very latest. Annalise.
John, I am at the intersection of 2nd Street and Jefferson Avenue here in Moundsville, and as you can see, the smoke is completely filling the sky. Part of the building of 227 Jefferson Avenue, where this fire broke out, has just collapsed. In fact, a police officer just asked us to move back from the scene from how bad it's getting. As far as we know right now, at least 2 buildings to the left of 227 Jefferson Avenue have also caught flames, and firemen have been working for the past 2 hours to contain that fire. Now, this fire broke out around 10 a.m. this morning. And again, like I said, firemen have been working all morning long to contain this fire. So I actually got to speak with the mother-in-law of the son who rents out this building. It's a Taekwondo building, and they also do yoga and karate and other classes there. The fire, as I said, is now caught on to the next 2 buildings to the left, and as I was saying, smoke is completely filling the sky here. It's burning my eyes. It's very difficult to breathe. And a huge thank you to all of the fire departments who are out here today working hard. According to Tom Hart, who is the EMA director, we have Moundsville City Fire here. We have Marshall County EMS and multiple other fire departments throughout the city. Now, I have not had a chance to actually talk with officials on the scene yet. As I've said, they have been busy for the past 2 hours trying to contain this fire and make sure that it doesn't keep spreading to any more buildings. Now, I also talked to the daughter-in-law of the people who rent out these buildings, and she said they had thousands of dollars worth of equipment in these buildings, and you know, they're very sad about this situation, but they're very thankful that nobody was in there and that nobody got hurt. As I said, I will keep following this story. I will speak with officials as soon as I can, but for now, I'm here in Moundsville reporting live from this devastating scene. I'm Annalise Murphy, working for you.
All right, Annalise, thanks. Stay safe out there, you and all the firefighters. Well, turning to your forecast now, it started off on the cold side this morning, but temperatures are starting to warm up a bit. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside now over Bridgeport, where we can see that sunshine out there. We'll take it anytime we can get it because sunshine seems so rare around here, especially this time of year. What can we expect going throughout the rest of our afternoon? Chief Meteorologist Jeff Booth is standing by now live, joining us with the latest. Good afternoon, Jeff.
Good afternoon, John. Yeah, actually, if you like this sunshine, I got really good news on my 7-day forecast. You're going to want to stick around and see that because it's the best forecast in my opinion, and I know that we're not supposed to editorialize as meteorologists, but in my opinion, it's the best forecast that I've seen in a while. But right now, we're looking at 43 in Wheeling. We got variable winds at 7 miles an hour, and across the area, anywhere from about 5 to 10 mile per hour winds for most of us. Steubenville looking at a couple of clouds, 41. Notice as you move out to the west, we're dealing with a little more cloud cover. That's because our next system is on the way, but right now let's enjoy that sun while we can. Here's a look at what's happening right now. You can see as we look out onto the Fort Henry Bridge, definitely have some sunshine out that way. That camera bouncing around a little bit in New Martinsville, but not too much. And as we take a look at your satellite and radar, yep, look at that. Those clouds are on their way, and they will be increasing throughout the afternoon. Before you know it, they're going to have some rain falling from them. We are going to be tracking some showers, but right now we're dry, so let's enjoy that. As we head through the afternoon, we'll top out in the mid to upper 40s, so it's going to be mild out there, or at least seasonably mild. And as we head on through the day, we're talking about temperatures topping out, again, in the mid 40s with some showers rolling in through the afternoon. We're going to time those out for you hour by hour and let you know if rain's going to rain on your weekend. We're also going to let you know what days could get back into the 60s and possibly touch 70 when I bring you that full forecast in just a bit.
All right, Jeff, thanks. That 70 sounds wonderful. Well, there's not much change in gas prices across the region. So far, there hasn't been a surge in the price of regular unleaded gas. AAA credits lower oil prices for the steady drop in prices we've seen in recent weeks. West Virginia and Ohio are well below $3 and at least 20 cents below the national average of $3.13. And we'd like to remind you a portion of West Virginia 2 on the 18th Street exit ramp will be restricted to one lane from 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. next Thursday, March 13th for tree removal from power lines. Drivers are advised to slow down and expect possible delays. Well, starting today through March 25th, the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program is running a statewide Click It or Ticket campaign to encourage seatbelt use. This is part of their ongoing efforts and leads up to the national push in May. Now in 2022, 49% of passenger vehicle fatalities in West Virginia involved people not wearing seatbelts. GHSP Director Jack McNeely pointed out a drop in seatbelt usage to 91.1% in 2024 from 93% in 2023. Well, taking a quick look across the nation, President Trump has paused tariffs on both Canada and Mexico once again, which covers goods from his first-term trade deal. Meanwhile, a federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to speed up payments to USAID and State Department partners with a new deadline set for this Monday. Now, this order is part of the case following the termination of over 90% of the contracts by the White House. And new at noon, Governor DeWine recently gave an update on the bird flu outbreak in Ohio. He met with farmers in Darke County yesterday. DeWine says more than 15 million birds have been destroyed to help with slowing the rate of infection in the top two chicken-producing counties in Ohio, which are Mercer and Drake. He also says the number of potential and active sites of infections are starting to decrease. He plans to call the U.S. Agricultural Secretary today to send a broader message.
One of the things that is clear is the federal government is really going to have to accelerate the research that is being done in regard to bird flu.
Now, bird flu has been the major factor in the rise in egg prices, and we, of course, will be keeping track of how the bird flu is progressing throughout the Buckeye State and beyond. So, as always, be sure to stay with 7 News and WTRF.com for updates. The Department of State is upgrading its system to help counties in Pennsylvania keep track of voters and help voters keep track of everything else. The state linked a 4-year, $10.6 million contract with civics to streamline election duties like voter registration, campaign finance reporting, and lobbyist disclosure. Everything is easily accessible and more user-friendly.
Absentee ballot, for example, they can look up to make sure that their ballot was received. So it's no longer kind of the guessing game of, I sent it in, I sure hope they got it.
I think an important part of transparency is not only making sure that the information is available, but making sure the information is available in a way that our taxpayers and our voters deserve.
Well, state officials are still working on a timeline for when the new system will be in place, but they did say this year's election will stay on the current system. Well, listen to this. 2-year-old Tatum Burns from Hancock County, who has spent much of her life at UPMC Children's Hospital, had her wish granted yesterday. Now, after a heart transplant in the summer of 2023 and finally becoming stable and healthy, the Ohio Valley chapter of a Special Wish Foundation granted her wish for a trip to Clearwater Beach, Florida, because she loves the water so much.
Always loved going to the beach, and since she was in the hospital, that's the only thing we've always dreamed of doing. Last year we got to take her on her first beach trip, and she absolutely adored it and thrived. She started walking there. She didn't have any fear, so we knew that was something that we would want to do. And I think going to Florida, where the water's more clear, she can see and do more, will just be awesome for her.
Everything we do is for local children here in the Ohio Valley. You know, every dollar we raise stays here to help us continue granting these wishes, to put smiles on the faces of not only the children, but their families. You know, they go through so much.
We've been involved with the organization for about 10 years now. And this is the first wish that we've been the sponsor of the wish itself.
Tatum's wish is sponsored by the Richmond Pence family. Now, Rick shared that they granted her wish to honor the charitable legacy of his late mother and stepfather. Still ahead at noon, Jeff has a full look at your forecast as we take another live look outside over Bridgeport. Bottle up that sunshine and keep it for a cloudy day. Jeff is coming up next with a check of that forecast. We'll be right back.
Storm Tracker 7 weather is presented by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Hey there, good Friday afternoon to you. Storm Tracker 7 Chief Meteorologist Jeff Booth here. Hopefully you're having a great day. I gotta tell you, I'm liking the sunshine. Don't get used to it. We do have some clouds on the way, but once we get through this system, we have a beautiful stretch of weather. Temperatures are going to be climbing. We're really going to have a nice taste of spring as we get into next week. So if you've been having spring fever, we got your cure. It is on the way, but we got to get through today. Then after that, tomorrow's going to be a little cooler, but once we start to move through the weekend, we're really talking about some nice weather. But 43 right now here in Wheeling. It's 41 in Steubenville. We're still holding on to 38 in Woodsfield, so still a little chilly in some areas, but generally upper 30s, low to mid 40s across the area. New Martinsville, you're clocking in at 44. Now, one thing we are watching, though, is those winds, and we can see they're coming out of the west, and as we get these westerly winds, we're pumping in just some of that seasonable air. Temperatures are in the low to mid 40s, and a lot of spots we're going to climb into the mid 40s, which is right where we should be for this time of year. And those winds about 5 to 10 miles an hour across the area, so they'll pick up. We'll see them basically between about 5 to 10, maybe 12 miles an hour throughout the day, with gusts at times up to about 20. So a little breezy, not like it was yesterday, though. Yesterday was really windy, but today it's feeling a little better. You can see, though, we have a little cloud cover out to the west of us. This is on the way. This is going to be building through the afternoon. We're going to be talking about the chance for some rain before you know it as well. Don't think we're getting a ton of rain, but we will get a little light rain and possibly even a little bit of a mix late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Once this gets out of here, though, we're going to see clouds decreasing through the day on Saturday. Temperatures, again, a little cooler. Sunday, we're going to be right around, if not a shade above average with more sunshine. Then we get into next week, and that's when those 60s are going to be returning. But right now, you can see we have a little bit of moisture off to the west of us. This is going to be rolling through here into the afternoon. A little bit of rain, possibly a rain-snow mix in the far northern portion of the area. We're not expecting a ton of rain. Those forecast models calling for basically a trace to maybe a tenth of an inch, so don't expect a whole lot out there, but still, we'll be watching out for that. A little breezy at times, seasonable this afternoon. Clouds are going to be building, and we're going to have the chance for some rain late, and then maybe a little bit of a mix early tomorrow. After that, we have decreasing clouds. We'll get some sunshine as we head on through the second half of the day especially, and that sunshine will return, kind of a mix of sun and clouds on Sunday. But we're going to be dealing with seasonable temperatures. Right now, the average high, mid to upper 40s, will top out in the upper 40s, low 50s, so maybe even a little bit above average, but I'm liking it when those numbers start with a 5 when we talk about those high temperatures. But tomorrow, back up to 41. We're going to see decreasing clouds, maybe an early mix, a little more sunshine through the afternoon. 51 on Sunday, warmer, fairly seasonable, get that mix of sun and clouds. So if you got anything to do this weekend, really outdoors, just don't do it, around midnight to about 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. Otherwise, you should be pretty good. Here's what we're looking at, though, with that Storm Tracker 7 predictor. You can see those clouds are going to be building, and then as we get on into your Saturday, they really start to decrease throughout the day. Here's Saturday at 10 o'clock. We're tracking p.m. Again, a couple of clouds here and there, but that's going to lead way to some sunshine by Sunday morning. Should be pretty nice out there. And as we take a look out at the forecast for tomorrow, we have today we have a chance for a couple of showers later in the day. It's going to be a little breezy, 46 for a high. Daylight saving time coming up on Saturday night into Sunday, so 41 tomorrow. Then we're looking at a high of 51 on Sunday. Monday, we're topping out at right around 60. We're talking about 68 by Tuesday with some sunshine. And look at that, we're near 70 by Wednesday. Some spotty showers possible as we hit that Thursday. And your flu report is looking like this. We have very high levels of flu reported in Ohio with high levels in Pennsylvania and in West Virginia. Don't forget to download that Storm Tracker 7 weather app and have everything you need to know when you are on the go. And tune into our Storm Tracker 7 radio partners at WKKX, the Watchdog on 1600 AM. We'll be right back.
This is 7 News at Noon with Annalise Murphy. Storm Tracker 7 weather with Tyler Vanjie.
Welcome back to 7 News at Noon. We're continuing to follow breaking news out of Marshall County this noon. That's where a massive fire is happening right now on Jefferson Avenue in Moundsville. We're told several buildings are involved, and we learned at the top of the show that the roof of one of those buildings has collapsed. Now, so far, there was no word on any injuries. We're told everyone is out safely, and we're also told some of those did house studios and had equipment stored in them. But right now, we do have a 7 News crew on the scene, and just just as soon as we can get back, we're going to check in with our Annalise Murphy. She's live with the details and learning some new details this afternoon about this fire. Now, it started earlier this morning. We received several calls to the newsroom, people concerned about the fire, and we could even see it from our iCam at one point before we lost power to that iCam. As a result of that massive fire, about 2,800 plus people are without power in Marshall County at this hour. So that fire definitely causing a lot of issues, not only for those buildings and the firefighters involved, but for the surrounding community. Also, Jefferson Street and around that area is closed if you're trying to get around Moundsville. And keep it here to 7 News. And of course, you can always go to WTRF.com for the latest details. Now, I'm not sure if we have Annalise live with us now or not, but we do know that crews from Moundsville City Fire Department, Moundsville Volunteer Fire Department, Glendale Volunteer Fire Department, Marshall County EMS, Moundsville PD, the Moundsville Public Works, they're all on the scene of this large fire as it continues to burn. Obviously, it's too soon to know what sparked that fire, and crews will begin that investigation. But first, they got to get those flames put out, and it looks like a rather large fire still happening right now in Moundsville there around the Jefferson Street area. And we're waiting on our crew right now, and we're going to go back live to Annalise Murphy. Annalise.
That's right, John. I am still here in Moundsville. We have been asked by a state police officer for the third time now to move back from the scene from how bad this smoke is getting. Practically all of Moundsville is covered in this smoke. To be honest with you guys, my eyes are burning. It's getting really, really difficult to breathe out here. This is truly, truly a devastating scene. When I was closer to the buildings, I was actually hearing the sound of one of them tumbling down. As far as I know right now, the two buildings that are to the left of 227 Jefferson Avenue are also engulfed in flames, and firefighters are still working as hard as they can to contain that fire. As of right now, we know that about 2,800 customers throughout Marshall County are without power. That's according to Appalachian. And I also talked to the owner of Greg Markets, and he says that his business has no power. This fire truly is having a huge impact throughout Marshall County. And be sure you stay with 7 News. We will continue to update you guys on this devastating scene. Reporting live at Moundsville, I'm Annalise Murphy, working for you.
All right, Annalise, thanks. And coming up, progress in the fight against Alzheimer's. That story and more coming up in your Health Watch 7 report. We'll be right back. Hey, was that okay? No. Perfect. I did my best to pull that one out of the air, but no, I was just... Thank you, guys. I appreciate all of you.
You're watching 7 News, working for you.
Welcome back to 7 News at Noon, checking in on your health now, how giving up butter could add years to your life, and progress in the fight against Alzheimer's. Michael George has today's Health Watch 7 report.
Researchers are looking into a new approach in fighting Alzheimer's using the brain's own natural defenses. A study at Northwestern University found certain immune cells help remove plaque and restore a healthy brain environment. Currently, there isn't a way to target these immune cells, but doctors say it's a first step to finding better treatments. A simple thing you can do to improve your health: eat less butter and more plant oils. A study by Mass General Brigham looked at the diet of 200,000 people and found people who consumed more soybean, canola, and olive oil had lower rates of cancer and death, and people who ate more butter had higher rates of cancer and death. Simply switching from butter to plant oils could lower your risk of death by as much as 17%. Teens who don't get enough sleep are at risk for high blood pressure. A study by the American Heart Association found teens who either had insomnia or slept less than 7.7 hours had an elevated blood pressure compared to teens who were getting enough sleep. The findings show that poor sleep can impact the heart even at younger ages.
Well, still to come, unfortunately, the WTRF Birthday Club, no birthdays today, but Jeff does have a final look at your forecast as we take a live look outside over Bridgeport. We'll be right back.
This is 7 News, working for you.
Well, if you're going to be out and about through the afternoon, just keep in mind you might need that umbrella, especially if we get on into the latter part of the afternoon, into the evening hours. 46 for a high today. That's right where we should be for this time of year. It's not going to be terribly breezy, but at times those winds will gust to about 20 miles an hour. We're looking at a high of 41 on Saturday. Could see an early mix, but after that, we're going to be drying out and needing a little bit of a clearing trend into the afternoon. We're springing forward. Don't forget to change those smoke detector batteries and lose that hour of sleep, but we're going to get that extra hour, if you will, of daylight. 51 for a high on Sunday, more sunshine on Monday into Tuesday. Even on Wednesday, highs back into the 60s. It's going to feel a lot like spring. 66 on Thursday with a few spotty showers, so we'll be watching out for that. And you said we have no birthdays for the birthday club. Well, my wife is going to be turning 21 with a few years of experience tomorrow. So happy birthday to her, even though I know she's not watching.
Happy birthday to her. And that's all the time we have today. Jeff will have much more local news and weather tonight on 7 News at 5 and 6.
And all day long on our website, WTRF.com, Facebook and Twitter. Have a great day.
Seven News on WTRF has been brought to you by Bill's Towing and Recovery.